world gone mad. One man had the courage, the will, and the sheer blood alcohol level to stand up to, then fall over in front of an ancient, all-powerful evil. Produced, directed, and starring Mel Gibson, and with dialogue spoken entirely in drunken gibberish and the ancient biblical tongue of anti-Semitic. Don't miss The Crashing of the Pissed. From now on, Mel Gibson is considered to be an American.
Glasshouse, the program that asks the question, on International Youth Day on Saturday, is it okay to pick up young guys? In case you're wondering, Will hasn't had the operation. He's in Edinburgh, and I'm running the place for the next 2 shows, so be gentle with me. Woo! More news than the outrageous fun of the census this week. Our beloved Prime Minister has a new mantra. I never said interest rates wouldn't rise if I was re-elected, and he's right. He can't be held responsible for the lies we thought he told. He's got enough on his plate denying the lies he actually told. And besides, we can't expect Howard to stand by promises he made in the past. Just ask Costello. Most skin-crawling political performance of the week. Have a look at this.
And the next Prime Minister of this nation will be me.
I don't know about Prime Minister Kim, but with a smirk like that, you could certainly be the next Treasurer. Oh, my God, look at him. Who's a big, scary puppy dog? Oh, yes, you are. Wishy, woo. According to Amanda Vanstone, new accommodation at Villawood Detention Centre provides better housing than many Australians enjoy. Plus, they get an overseas trip at the end of it. Will these people never realise how good they get it? They're fully furnished and everything's electric. The shower, the oven, even the fence. Kind of makes me want to get a mental illness so they'll accidentally put me in there. Vanstone said there are a lot of Australians who don't have houses anywhere near as good as these houses are. Like wombats, koalas, the dead. Health Minister, His Holiness Tony Abbott, has attacked embryonic stem cell research again, saying it's a slippery slope to human cloning. And when he realised he'd said slippery slope, he had to have a cold shower and say 50 Hail Marys. Embryonic cells are a potential human being, which is more than you can say for Tony. But he's right. If some mad scientist decided to use stem cells to create a talking penis with huge ears and no brain, the health minister would be out of a job. You've just come from Spicks and Specs. Are you on every show on the ABC tonight?
Yes, I am. I'm hosting Late Line. I can't wait. Me and Mandy Vanstone are going to mud wrestle. It's going to be cool. Hey, did you know the Family First MP in South Australia has said that if the state government refuses to legislate to drug test politicians, he will? Maybe Family First is worried that someone else in Parliament's keeping all the best shit for themselves. Dennis Hood is the name of the guy from the Family First. Of course, around the halls, he's known as Snoop Doggy Dennis. And he says that politicians impose random drug testing on drivers, so it'd be hypocritical not to test themselves. Well, hello? Snoop Doggy Dennis, it's a bit different. There's a lot more responsibility for druggy drivers than druggy politicians. For one thing, drivers don't have America to change the gears and steer for them. I don't blame the MPs. I point the finger squarely at John Howard. The only other people I've ever seen in those parachute material tracksuits are the ones trying to wash my windscreen at the lights. Or those guys who stop you in the street and say, "Excuse me, have you got $2 for the train?" the train. I got to get to Chogham. Of course all MPs are on drugs. Why else do they have the joint sittings in the party room? Come on.
Thank you!
Yeah. G'day, girls. Hello.
Hello, boys.
It's great, isn't it? Finally a three-way with the odds in my favour. Seriously, was it census
Seriously, they're not.
They're not. You can't blame a guy for dreaming. So it was the census last night, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, forgot. Add one extra. Now, it's scary news for me. This week's scary. I found out there's a story in the news that means that when I get married on New Year's Eve, there's a good chance that my wife will be clinically depressed afterwards. How is that possible when she's going to get to see me naked every day for the rest of her life? It's not possible. Now, there's a thing apparently called post-wedding depression, where 1 in 10 wives get depressed because they put so much focus on their wedding day that afterwards their lives are just empty and meaningless. Now, I didn't think my girlfriend would be like that, but she is. She's a bridezilla. You know, and I know you're not home at watching because you're bloody organising the wedding, aren't you, sweetheart? I mean, I've got a much more relaxed attitude about it. I say everything will be okay, everything will get done. She said, yeah, because I'll bloody do it. And I'm like, Warner, just relax. Don't tell them to relax. That's not good. But seriously, so much to do. I didn't realise the different things that have to happen to make a wedding bloody right. Like the tables and the bloody reception. There's got to be something in the middle of the tables. I thought that's where you just put the pepper and the bloody salt. Seriously, she wants to do dance lessons. If I do want to dance, I'd bloody go on Dancing with the Stars. I want to have a night with my mates, all right? I mean, it's New Year's Eve. My loser friends are happy to have something to bloody do. Anyway, it's going to be great, and I love you, honey. Love you.
All right, let's get to it. Joining me, Michelle and Dave to throw some stones in the Glasshouse tonight, 2 stars of New York stand-up. He's in Canberra tomorrow night, then Sydney and Brisbane, Eddie F. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
And he's performing in Sydney this very night. Watch us before you leave, Eddie Brill.
Good to be here on your inaugural show.
All right, movers and shakers. First up, a woman from Wisconsin by the name of Carriel Lua has taken the delightful step of suing her mum and dad for $180,000. She slipped on an icy path after paying them a surprise visit. Then she surprised them again with a massive lawsuit. She just loves surprises. And she wants compensation for medical bills, lost wages, and all the meetings she missed at Evil Bitches Anonymous. Sadly, relations between the family aren't good. Carriel's mum has now asked her doctor if it's too late to have an abortion. Michelle, you're a lover, not a lawyer. Ever wanted to sue your parents?
No, I never have. I don't know. When did forging their will and smothering them in their sleep go out of fashion? I mean, if you want their money, there's easier ways of getting it. Why is everyone in a hurry all the time? You know?
Well, here's the problem if they don't have any money. This is all through insurance, you know. Right. So my parents always said sue us. If something goes wrong, sue us.
Really?
They knew that was the only way I could get money from them because they're poor.
But they keep up the insurance payments just so that you can sue them.
Absolutely, yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking the amount you earn. Your parents should turn around and sue you now.
I actually give my mother money these days, I do, you know.
Really?
And she did give me money when I was younger, and she always gave me attitude too. She'd always go, oh, here's some money, why don't you get a real job?
Yeah.
I paid for their guttering last year, I gave her $2,000. I said, there you go, Mum, but why don't you get a real job, you know? I'm not going to be around forever.
We don't have that in the States. Hillary Clinton actually tried to propose that. She wanted it that the children would be able to sue their parents, and I thought if that happens, Chelsea Clinton, her daughter, is going to sue them for her bad genetics. She can just go...
Can you sue for ugly?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, she's a little horsey.
No.
I always...
Just a little horsey.
I heard Hillary Clinton likes a little horsey.
I always wanted to have sex with her. I thought that was a big fantasy.
Hillary?
Yeah. No, Chelsea. No way. Chelsea would be the best because it would be so kinky because there'd always be two guys in the closet watching.
What about the Bush girls as well? The Bush, would you go to the Bush
twins? Are they twins?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're twins.
You have a threesome with them.
They'd have 4 guys in there, wouldn't they?
Yeah, because they're so drunk that it looks like there's 4 guys.
Yeah, they're naughty girls, aren't they, the Bush twins?
Yeah. When you have a dad like that, you got to be naughty.
Yeah, I suspect George W. I always think this. I think if I met George W., I would dig him. I don't want him running the planet, but he would be a lot of fun to hang out with. He's kind of nutty.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of fun. He's irresponsible.
Yeah.
He'd be heaps of fun.
And he wouldn't remember that you had sex with him the next day.
Exactly.
And he's relaxed about things too. I mean, you could bomb a country and you go, that's okay.
I still would like to do his daughters. It's the one time where I'd like to say to a girl, who's your daddy?
Our next mover and shaker is an author who goes by the pseudonym Maddox. Maddox has written a book called The Alphabet of Manliness, described as 26 chapters of misogynist rantings by a knuckle dragger. Here's an example. Every time a woman starts to cry, a silent timer starts to tick inside a man's head. As each second passes, the man begins to wonder when it's safe to go back to playing video games.
That one doesn't bother me that much because when a man starts crying, I'm far too busy patting myself on the back to start counting. It really doesn't bother me now.
Here's another. The only thing worse than foreplay is afterplay. Afterplay is defined as anything that comes after sex that doesn't involve her leaving. Of course he hates afterplay. Nothing takes the romance out of sex like having to get a receipt. This book is part of a backlash being touted as the Menaissance, which is just like the Renaissance, except without the art and science and with bigger tits. Eddie, if you're a man's man, isn't it great women finally know the truth?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to you.
You're still thinking of Chelsea Clinton?
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, I like the way you posed that question. It's like, Eddie, you're a man's man. Is that I didn't know if that was like you're a manly man or you're a really gay man.
Well, take it whichever way you like.
I don't know, I think...
Gay men often do.
I don't know. I think I grew up with sisters all the time, so I always knew stuff and they knew stuff, and yeah, I grew up with sisters, so you know.
Do anything a girl says.
No, I'm not a manly man. Like,
Are you
I can't,
a crier?
when no one's around.
My girlfriend is a crier. It's like, yeah. The other night, she was watching TV, 60 Minutes was on, some adopted kids from Africa, and I just knew it, you know, here we go.
You're marrying one of those sick women with a heart.
Yeah. I know when she's... you know how I know when she's crying? When she hasn't spoken for 5 seconds.
There's still time to call the wedding off, Holly.
I only cry when I have sex. That's the only time.
Yeah, that's hot. Ladies love that. What about you, Eddie? Would you think of yourself as a manly man?
Well, I'm macho enough to wear this shirt.
You are wearing terracotta.
No, I think a man who's so macho is not really a good man. A man who has vulnerability is a good man. That's why I wear the shirt.
You just...
And you are trying to get laid
I was just gonna say.
That's what it's about. Actually, you know, men and women are different. Yes, we're different. Women say, oh, men, all they want to look at is tits. Yes, exactly right.
Not only, though.
Right, all right. So, but most of the time.
Yeah.
I like vaginas. I think they're amazing.
They are amazing.
I think there's got to be one manly man in the relationship. In my home, that's me.
That's you?
Yeah.
Because you're married to your lovely husband, Adrian.
Adrian, and I drive a ute.
You drive a ute.
Yeah, I do. It's a
You're one of
cat.
these chicks who drives a ute.
Yeah.
I wonder, that freaks me out. I wonder how
Why?
much shit you can get in the back of those things.
It's very handy.
You put your tissues in the back?
You don't put tissues in the back,
You need them in front when you're crying.
What do you do in the back of your ute? Are you a tradie on the weekend?
No, but it's so handy. Like, it just...
What do you put in there?
You go to a garage sale, you see hard rubbish. I love other people's garbage. I creep back in the middle of the night and I put it in the back of my ute.
I gotta stop you for a second, because I didn't know what a ute was.
I thought it was a very young man.
Or I thought it was your, And I'm like, what kind of garbage is she putting in her ute? And why does she go back and get it?
You wear the pants in the relationship.
Yes. And the boots.
Oh, you wear the boots? You know the boots that when the girl starts taking all her clothes off?
Any girl who wears them says to you,
No. Foiled again.
What happens with the boots?
Well, when you start undressing, she starts taking her clothes off, and then she goes to take the boots off. You go, the boots are staying on.
How do you get your jeans off, though, with the boots on?
I don't know. I've never been in this situation.
Eddie only dates women who wear the pants with the Velcro down the side. In our never-ending review and criticism of the world's media, we've scoured the globe to discover the real reasons behind Mel Gibson's anti-Semitic rant. According to the statement by Sheriff's Deputy James Mee, Gibbo said this: "The Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world." Now compare it with this hard-hitting current affairs program.
Get your goddamn Jew mouth! You people are why there's war in the Middle East!
The influential Eric Cartman and Mel Gibson, two foul-mouthed, violent, infantile characters, but one of them's playing it for laughs. In fact, Mel is such a big South Park fan, the director's cut of The Passion of the Christ included the line, "Oh my God, they've killed Jesus! You bastard!" Happily, Mel has now sincerely apologised for his anti-Jew tirade. He meant the homos. Eddie Brill, you're a lethal weapon. Are we being too hard on Mel?
Yeah, you guys got it all wrong. He said he hates shoes. It's funny they said the Jews have caused all the wars, because there's some wars the Jews weren't even involved with.
Yeah.
It's just the Middle East. That's why these people kill each other. That's what they do. And then they're going to kill each other for thousands more years. And you know why? Because it's hot. It's 117 degrees Fahrenheit at night. These people are pissed. These are not suicide bombers. They're blowing themselves up just for the breeze.
What's Mel going? What's going on with him?
I don't know.
I mean, normally, what have the Jews done to him? Mel is a very rich man. Why would he hate anyone? Not that anyone should hate anyone, but often the oppressed want to hate other people because they're oppressed. No one's oppressed, Mel.
This is the deepest I've ever heard you get.
I was drawn to you on that. I was like, where's this going?
And it's
Nowhere, apparently.
It's hard for the Jewish community because they're like, you know what? We've been copping it since the Pharaohs. We don't need it like from that guy from Lethal Weapon.
I think it's funny that you always hear about anti-Semitism. You never hear about pro-Semitism. Like, honestly, like, I love the Jews. I think they're great. I always wanted to be one because they get a lot of days off. And, no, I thought that, yeah, and then I realized I don't really have a job. And, but seriously, I like looked around at religions. I was like, this is a good one. I'm going to do it.
Right.
And then I realized I'd have to give up a couple things, like pork and Jesus.
And your foreskin.
Which one would be harder?
And your foreskin.
That's what I meant by
Speaking
pork.
of pork,
I love bacon, so.
Well, you can be a Jew and have bacon. All the Jews have bacon. Nowadays, with religion, people are like, well, the Bible was written a long time ago when they didn't know about bacon. We can have bacon. That was some guy who had a bacon store.
Think about Mel, he only blew .12, which isn't really that drunk.
Yeah. I've been out. I had a friend who blew like a .62 one night, and well, he was dead, but.
Seriously?
And he loves Jews.
And my friend got pulled over blue like a .62, and he didn't even like argue with the police. He got out. Well, they opened the door and he rolled onto the ground, like rolled there and just went, "Take me." And they were like, "Have you been drinking?" He's like, "Hell yeah."
I actually got pulled over in California by the police when I was over there once. Yeah, it's a true story.
Wow.
And I was driving out there. This really, really true.
Yeah.
And I'd been eating a Snickers bar and I'd lost my Snickers bar. And when the guy got me to get out of the car, I realised it had melted all over my lap. It was a really freaky moment. I tried to break, lighten the mood by saying, "Do you want a lick?"
Later in the Glasshouse, Kim Beazley gives serious thought to leading Labor to victory at the next election.
This is probably something that somebody else needs to do.
During the census, Jackie Kelly answers the question, is there a bimbo in the house?
Oh, it's just like, yes!
And John Howard stands by his record on election promises.
They are whoppers.
Some of the rogues making news this week. Osama bin Laden really is the master of disguise.
Speedy rabbit and very, very slow president.
The last president was a blowee. This is a blower.
You'd be happy to have the bunny in charge, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would be happy to have the bunny in charge and just be partying with George W.
I'm pretty sure George Bush thinks the bunny is in charge.
Yes.
Right.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he actually had a bike.
That's the Landis guy who's been caught cheating, yeah, with the drugs, yeah?
Well, he's been caught with an unusually high testosterone level. We don't know whether he did drugs. He might have just licked someone who did drugs.
Yeah.
Seriously, you're going to cheat. Why don't you just buy a motorbike,
I'm pretty sure my testosterone level would go up if there was a devil chasing me. It's like some weird German guy that just got out of a rave and is like, "Who has ecstasy?"
And if you look closely, it looks like just sort of halfway down his leg, like a little devil might be popping out.
If they checked Floyd Landis right there, he probably had a high level of urine in his shorts, too.
Is that true? Do they wee in their shorts?
If a devil's chasing you...
No.
That's great.
You let go of my nuts, I'll let go of your nuts.
You know, I heard from George Bush you're pretty easy.
Let's put our heads together and make an ass of ourselves.
What's wrong?
Awesome.
So that's at their marriage, isn't it?
Yes.
That's
Their wedding day.
I want to point out that that is a different white bikini to the one she wore when she married Tommy Lee. She's not a skank, okay?
Does the white bikini mean she's a virgin?
Yes.
Yeah.
It means those boobs are. They've never had any action yet.
I heard Tommy Lee wasn't at the wedding, but his penis was.
Seriously, I mean, if you're going to get married wearing hats, that's disrespectful, really.
I wonder where the four of them are honeymooning.
Now, who's going to take out the white trash?
Yes, it's time to award the coveted Glasshouse trophy, which this week is called... And the winner of the personal lubemobile in a tube of torment is a London man who wishes to remain anonymous. And why? Well, after impotence forced him to get a penile implant, he's now discovered that every time the neighbours activate their automatic garage door, he gets an erection. He said, it's embarrassing. Every time their car pulls in, I can't leave the house. It's not funny. Yes, it is. Still, it's a bit of a worry. Every time he wants to have sex, the neighbour's car gets stolen. So the the trophy goes to the up and down implant man of old London town. Turns out the problem is being caused by a mechanical fault. Apparently one of his nuts is loose. Well, that's the way it is for Wednesday, August 9th. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. And let's take a look at tomorrow's headlines. In the Courier Mail, Peter Beattie stands by recycled sewage. 9 out of 10 Queenslanders can't tell them apart. According to the Fin Review, Telstra removes 4,000 payphones. Hundreds of drunks now without public toilets. The Sun Weekly says Channel 10 to try a new CSI-style reality show. Yasmin's getting buried. And in the Herald Tribune, Hezbollah breaches ceasefire, fires Mel Gibson at Israel. Good night!
Hi, Mel Bampton here.